I'm Stephanie Wonderlin with Tweetheart TV, and we are back with yet another interview for Social Fresh East, which is taking place in Tampa, Florida on April 18th and 19th. So today we have Chris Brogan, who is CEO and President of Human Business Works, a best-selling author, speaker, and more. So hi, Chris. How are you?
Thrilled to be here. How the heck are you?
I'm doing just fine. I wanted to go ahead and hear some great takeaways that people are going to walk away after they hear your presentation at Social Fresh.
Really, I'm almost a broken record these days. I have a few things that I'm telling people. One is that if your site is not mobile responsive, you're doomed. And that's a baseline site thing. And it doesn't matter if Twitter or anything is up and running. If when people get all excited, they come back to your main website and it looks terrible on their mobile device, which is where most of us are viewing it. Yes. Another thing I'm going to talk about in a little bit of detail is just reinforce my home base and outpost strategy that I created way back in 2006, which is to say, you date on the social networks and you marry on the blog or the website or the main place to be.
Makes sense.
Beyond that, I would say that what's going to come out of this experience is sort of how I see business making versus showing up and playing with the toys. There's a lot of people who kind of show up at the club, and then there's people who are getting business done. And I guess I'd like to see B a lot more than A. So I'm sort of the grumpy old man of social media. That's what I've come to realize.
Hey, that's okay, because the grumpy people are sometimes the people that get work done, right?
I'm just here to help people make a little bit of revenue instead of just, having the shiniest logos and avatars.
Yeah, agreed. And so in your presentation, you're talking about how businesses can rise above the noise. And so I would love to hear how you personally rise above all this noise.
It's really funny. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and there's two outlets that are helping me do that. I mean, I have a reasonably successful blog. It gets about 200,000 uniques a month, but nothing really happens. Like if I make a call to action there, it doesn't work nearly as well as my newsletter. 28,000 people get the newsletter right now as of this recording, and 10 times more people by volume, not by percentage, 10 times more people by volume take an action via my newsletter. So that's one way I'm rising above the noise. The other is I started an audio podcast back up for the first time since way back in 2005 when I had one. And what I'm finding is that, according to Mary Meeker from Kleiner Perkins Caulfield Buyer, there's 52 unclaimed minutes in the automobile where people are just dying to be entertained, and I'm on it. And I'm loving the hell out of doing this. I have way too many shows. I mean, at the time we recorded this, I started back in October. I've already done 55 shows, which is more than a year's worth of material if you did it weekly. But I just can't help myself. I put out 2 today by mistake.
That's good. That's awesome. And it's clearly you have some great ways that you're kind of rising above everything. You've actually taken action to realize what pieces of social have worked for you. So whether that is obviously on social networks, newsletters, blogs, podcasts, you figured it out, and that's really what people have to do in order to rise above the noise, right?
And the last piece of broccoli I will share, very specific to a social network, hidden inside your mashed potato today, Stephanie, is that if you're not yet a believer in Google+, if you're believing all the hype that you've read in this or that blog, and you're saying nobody's over there, there's twice as many people on Google+ than there are than Twitter. There's far more action going on, and the #1 search engine in the world asks Google+ what's up, not Twitter, not Facebook. So today's your day to change that.
It's very true, and that's something that I know I go back and forth on. I hear a lot of success stories with Google+, and so I know that is it's changing. I do believe that. It's just a lot of people are still definitely looking for that interaction there.
You can look for interaction or you can look for business. I like business a lot more than comments on my posts.
Very true. Very, very true. So as you guys can tell, this is going to be one exciting presentation with Chris Brogan, who's going to be talking about the impact equation. You can follow Chris Brogan on Twitter at Chris Brogan, as well as myself, which is at @SWonderlin. Hope to see you at Social Fresh.